Hello, my name is Sam Madicott, and on behalf of the British Chamber of Commerce in Japan, I would like to welcome you to today's Gin Masterclass. Now, as many of you will notice, I'm not in my usual cave. We're actually down here in Kyoto at the house of Kinobi. We've taken all the correct COVID precautions in preparing for this event to make sure it is held safely, and that rather than COVID, it's the gin you will have to worry about. Now, before we kick off, I would like to encourage you to participate, get active. So get your gin sets out, show us your cocktails, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them via the Q&A panel at the bottom of the screen. Before we kick in with the content, I'd like to introduce one of the founding partners of the House of Kinobi, David Croll, to say a few words.
Thank you, Sam. Let's get rid of this. Well, a very warm welcome to the House of Kinobi this evening. We're delighted to welcome so many fellow chamber members down here to Kyoto. I was a long-term resident in Tokyo, but moved down here in 2015 when, together with my wife and a UK-based business partner, we established the Kyoto Distillery. The distillery itself is located to the south of the city, around about 20 minutes drive from Kyoto Station. But today we're here in the House of Kinobi in the center of town. This is our new brand house we established last year in the middle of all this current ongoing nonsense. We're delighted that you can join us today for this gin masterclass. A large number of fellow chamber members and also a number of guests from various countries around the world. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce our special hosts for today, Mr. Chris Broad and Mr. Marcy Sakuma. Chris will be very familiar to many of you, I'm sure. He has a lot more friends than I do, around about 2 million at last count. Something to do with a Facebook, YouTube site, sorry. It's all the same to me. A YouTube site called Drinking in Japan or something like that.
How dare you.
And Marcy spent 10 years in London working in various bars and hotels and restaurants before coming back to Japan and joining our team as one of our distillers. And last year when the house opened, he became the manager here. So he's responsible for all of our drinks and cocktails. Just before I hand across to our esteemed hosts, we'd like to show you a little short video just to give you a taste of the inside of the House of Kinobi.
Hello, my name is Ako. I work at Kinobi House. Here is a bar area which is called Kinobi no Ma. So you can enjoy our gin products and also tasting set, cocktails. Tasting set is actually the most popular menu in the bar. Look at this huge 18-liter bowl of Kinobi. Actually, it is for sale, so you can buy it. This is shop area, which is called Omise no Ma. We have some exclusive items. So let's go to upstairs. Here, this is Tenji no Ma, which is display room. You can learn history of gin or how to make Kinobi or many things. Here is botanical map. We use 11 different kind of botanicals, and then 8 botanicals in those are from Kyoto. So this is seminar room, which is called Konwa no Ma. Konwa means blend. Here you can learn how to make Kinobi or about the Kyoto Distillery, and also you can taste 6 elements which combine to make Kinobi, which you can try only here. Over to Doug.
So the concept and brief for the design of the Kinobi house was essentially to restore and rediscover a lot of the original character for this Japanese townhouse, or machiya. And so that involved stripping it back to its skeleton and showing all the existing structural beams and columns, and reinstating things like the Japanese garden and showing the tsuchikabe, or earthenware walls. And the main areas have been reserved for the local craftsmen. As with the gin, we like to collaborate with a lot of local craftspeople And so the back feature wall is a 4-meter high pride of place feature by the Karakami 400-year-old company. Over to you, Chris and Marcy.
So, greetings from Kyoto. My name is Marcy.
And I'm Chris. Good to see you guys. Welcome to House of Kinobi. About to drink
Live.
a lot of wonderful gin, aren't we?
Yes. So yeah, we're here for the gin masterclass today. We're gonna show some Kinobi expressions, as you see, and some of you might have that small set in front of you. Later on, I'm going to demonstrate some cocktails making, quite simple one. So maybe you can try to make that same or similar one. So where to start?
Where to start? Well, I mean, first things first. When you think gin and tonic, right?
Yeah.
Marcy.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Do you have anything like any funny story regarding about gin and tonic?
No, not really. I drink it a lot. I've been drinking a lot of alcohol recently.
Okay.
For various reasons,
Yeah.
and I have to say, House of Kinobi's gin is always the one that stands out as being something really special.
It's amazing to hear.
It is amazing. Like gin and tonic, it's taken off big time in the UK at the moment. Whenever I go back to the UK, the past few years, like every pub, every restaurant is flooded with gin.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find a good one that stands out, like Kinobi. But yeah, I'm looking forward to diving in and tasting 11 botanicals, 9 of which are locally sourced from the Kyoto area.
Whoa.
I know my stuff. I've done my homework today, guys. I've done my homework. I've come all the way from
great.
Sendai
That's great.
down here for
Yeah,
this special occasion. So I'm very excited. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Marcy.
coming,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's going to be a wonderful time today.
Absolutely.
So, you told me about the various reasons that like you keep, you're drinking quite often these days, which is like the reason might be the gin is popping.
It is.
Yeah.
What is it about gin, do you think, that has led it to become kind of really, really popular in recent years? Why has it exploded in popularity? Albeit not in Japan, it seems to be taking off now.
There's many reasons there, I think. In my opinion, what I can see is like gin is like one category which has got like a quite a freedom in production method.
Absolutely.
So, for example, gin, for most of you might know the gin is juniper, a very flavored spirits with like other herbs and fruits, or other roots, or any kind of natural origin, agricultural origin. That's a gin basically. And apart from using the juniper berry, which is like pretty much free to use anything, and we call it botanicals, but like it's coming out of like the plants as well, actually.
Absolutely.
Using like fat of like some animals and stuff like that, maybe against like some currents as well. But like gin is very exciting category, that's what I want to say here. And every day, every month, every year, new distilleries or new distillers play experimenting, and everyone is actually waiting for like new flavors and aromas. So it's like a bit of discovery at the same time happening.
Absolutely.
And that's the most exciting part from my point.
I suppose Kinobi is kind of the first true craft gin in Japan.
Yeah, we boast of like that very fast artisanal gin distillery, and we are specializing in gin as well, which is quite a few. Most of the gin production happening here in Japan, the company's been doing some other stuff like such as shochu, other spirits, and so we are gin dedicated distillery. So like we have a gin liqueur and stuff. Shall we talk about the products?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So far right, closer to you, Kinobi. This is our flagship product, released in 4 years back, 2016 October.
2016.
So like 4 years and a half or something like that. It's relatively young product. I mean, this company is young. But
Beautiful
this is
branding,
like
though.
classic Kinobi using the 11 botanical, as you mentioned, and this might be the set in stone for other products as well. This is like a quite a traditionally dry style with not only the hints, it's the essence of Japan in it, and it's very soft and mild, clean. At the same time, it has got like a punch and a kick. So it's like a Kyoto. One of the reasons we came for Kyoto is Kyoto has got that
Tradition.
rich history of
Well, yeah,
tradition.
it's Japan's
But at the
beating
same
heart and
time,
soul.
it's quite cutting edge, and people are forward thinking You know, that's very, you know, it coexists. That's something like, you know, far two things.
Yeah, contemporary and traditional kind of going on at once.
And,
Absolutely.
I think, in my opinion, that kind of philosophy is in this bottle.
Along with 45% gin.
45%. And the next one, Kinobi Sei. We put the kanji Sei.
What does say mean?
It means it can lead as ikioi. So
Power. Strength.
powerful. Yeah.
Is this the navy strength gin?
Yeah, equivalent.
54.5% because it lasts longer, right, on boats.
Yeah,
Stuff like that,
yeah.
so.
And most of the navy strengths might be like around the 57, 58.
Good God.
But our core is a 54.5, which is
Dangerous.
strong enough.
Yeah.
And I believe that ignites the gunpowder as well. That's another reason the
hell.
navy strength is higher, because like, you know, something happened and
yeah.
you know, gunpowder get wet but still ignite, you know.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Explosive like gunpowder.
This is the concept behind is a Kinobi is very balanced product, but at the same time, lots of people enjoy or need or like martini or, you know, something like, you know, mainly Kinobi.
This goes well in cocktails, right?
Yeah,
Particular.
absolutely. So like starting with gin and tonic or like mixology cocktails where lots of ingredients, you know, jumping in. This Kinobi Sei is gonna stand out still, and then showing that Kyoto presence in the glass.
Kino tea.
Kino
It's clever
tea.
because it rhymes.
Yeah,
I like
Kino tea. So the tea, Gyokuro tea, we use premium Gyokuro tea from Uji region, world famous region of the tea, and which is used for the Kinobi as well, one of the 11 botanicals. But it's balancing out, and it's, you know, it's like one of the botanicals, but we wanted to enhance as like a main character. And that's the concept behind
The
that.
kanji for tea. I have to say the branding is so on point with Kinobi. What's this? It's kind of like a woodblock print.
Exactly. So we associate with like a Kira Karacho. It's a woodblock printing company for Karakami, and they are since like Edo era, which is like 16,
Bloody hell.
1600s, something like that.
Good God.
Yeah, it's a long time. And
So
we are lucky enough to use.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
see that my uniform?
Very nice. Very snazzy.
And the bottle, it might be difficult to see, but it has got this. This design was made long ago, and it existed, and then we were going through the catalog, and then which looks quite like, you know, showing that the botanicals, and then, you know, the Japaneseness, and then,
So even the branding is pretty traditional, right? Given
Yeah.
you've used a company goes back 400 years is responsible for the branding.
yeah.
amazing.
And the for the Kino tea exclusively, they made that new block
Fantastic.
for us, which was really cool things.
Well,
Next one, Kino to.
there we go.
We put a kanji of sugar and island, both read as a to, and this is like autumn style gin. Autumn style gin back in the days was, okay, the gin wasn't so palatable because of the maybe the production technology
Right.
on everything, or maybe bootleggers or that.
Right.
So it was quite harsh spirits, but people wanted to drink still. So adding sugar to mask the harshness, that was like a concept of the autumn. As the technique grows, and you know the people's palate grows as well for the drier flavor and taste, the autumn gin category kind of died out. But recently, the gin renaissance, cocktail renaissance brought back to the you know, the original recipe, as well as like a new approach. Like ours is a new approach because our gin is palatable at all without anything, but adding sugar to bring that product to the next level. So we you know, try different sugars. We went for like Okinawan Kokuto sugar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like not refined sugar. That's the reason why. Not only the sweetness, it's got richness and the body, and then, you know, the complexity, and it's a wonderful product as well.
I'm feeling very thirsty. And then we've got
next one.
different liqueurs here.
That's gin liqueur.
Gin liqueur.
The fruits and the ume from Kyoto is macerated in gin and then added sugar. Look at the sexy color. It
Beautiful,
comes
isn't it?
from the Haskap from Hokkaido.
Tokyo International Bar Show 2019.
Yeah, that was
Winner.
yeah,
Very nice.
special. And edition series, these are cask matured gin or cask finished gin. And edition K is collaboration between the Kyoto Distillery in Islay, Scotland. So
Scotland, Islay.
yeah, it might just like give you that a bit of idea that the smokiness is added to the Kinobi. It's a really interesting product, one only. I never seen any gin like this.
I love the branding again.
Yeah. Edition G was rested in the Champagne French oak barrels.
Champagne bottle?
Yeah.
Champagne caskets?
Yeah, cask, yeah. So which is, we collaborate with a maison called Anne Giroux.
Good God.
In France. And yeah, actually the cask was came with a flight, not a ship.
It's a lot of money when it's that flight.
Yeah, maybe on first class with a glass of champagne as well.
No expense spared. No expense spared. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And gold leaf.
Yeah.
No.
Kinobi. So Kinobi is the Kinobi inside as added gold flakes, gold leaves.
Is that edible?
Yeah, it is edible, and it's used for confectionaries, and then we got the inspiration from that traditional sake with the gold leaves.
Yeah, like Kanazawa and Kyoto, well known for it. And what kind of, this is like special occasions, is it?
Yeah.
Wedding.
Yeah.
If I were to get married,
New Year's.
this is the one I'd want. Absolutely. And finally, what do we got here?
This is like exclusive bottle to House of Kinobi, and it's only sold in this place.
Right here.
It's using the same distillates as a Kinobi classic expression, but all of that our gin is when it's made is quite high proof. So we're gonna add water. For the final touch, and we use the water from Fushimi region, world famous sake.
Fushimi, where the Fushimi Inari shrines are, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And this one is using the water from the well in here in this House of Kinobi. So we have that.
There's a well in here as well.
And a different mineral content to the Fushimi water. So we experiment mixing with this water, and it came out with quite different nuance and really interesting.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and this area is quite famous for the water too. So there was no reason that we wouldn't use this water.
Fantastic. Well, let's dive in. I'm feeling very thirsty. We just got through half a dozen amazing brands of Kinobi gin. Yeah, maybe a gin tonic, something simple.
Sure.
Or unless you've got something more exotic in mind, I'll kind of leave it to you. You know your stuff.
Okay. I come with a gin tonic first, then.
We can see here Kinobi, how it's distilled and all the ingredients, the 11 botanicals.
So that 11 botanicals are split into the 6 categories, and we distill separately. And that's for the best results, taking up the good part of the aromatics and then blend it together later on. That's a unique method that we use.
From what I understand, with most gins, they just take all the botanicals and mix it all together and distill it at once.
Into
you do it in different parts.
Yeah, exactly.
To break it down.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think so. The only 2 botanicals that aren't local are the juniper berries from Macedonia and the orris roots from France. Everything else comes from around the Kyoto area. And I think lemons come from Hiroshima as well, right?
Yeah, as well as Hiroshima.
Like it's a truly local product, it's a truly local gin.
I'm gonna get that tonic water from here actually.
So thirsty. This is going to be great.
So,
is there anything I could do?
It's okay.
Probably not a good idea.
We got a freezer and fridge underneath here. This we are in the Gin Palace area of House of Kinobi. And the Gin Palace is membership only. Yeah,
so the Gin Palace is like a secret back room. It's so secret I probably shouldn't even talk about it, to be honest, but it's a secret room. If you ever come here, which you definitely should, this is like a little private members club room, and you can come here, chill with your gin. Beautiful. It's kind of like a gentleman's club in London. It's like going back to a Victorian era, or back to London to be fair.
And the Victorian era is matching with a Meiji period. When, the Japan opened up the countries and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that sort of essence. Outside of the House of Kinobi, as you see on that tour video, looks a little bit different, like the modern take of the renovated machiya. And here is a tiny bit more like a retro feeling.
Retro feeling. Yeah. I like it. But no, it's a very secret, hidden back door. If you do come here, I urge you to come here because it's just an incredible place to drink the gin. The atmosphere is as much important as the drink itself.
And here I'm making it with the trolley, and I'm making the cocktails for this room in front of the guests like this.
You know your stuff. And you've lived in London as well, right, Martin?
Yeah, about 10 years, nearly 10 years.
years.
And I worked in several places, like hotels, restaurants, and pub, beer bar, and cocktail bars. And at last, I've been avoiding like Japanese places, but at last I was working in a place called Roka, Charlotte Street.
Yeah, in London.
Yeah, Shochu Lounge.
Very nice place. Look at that. You can smell it from here.
Okay,
There's floral undertones.
yeah, nice.
Marcy, what are you doing at the moment?
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm making a gin and tonic for the gentleman and I guess myself. And using the kinobise and no garnish, just
No garnish.
tonic water. Some of you might have like kinobise and tonic water as well. So what I'm doing here is about 3:10 ratio. Gin and tonic is, according to your taste. You can have like 9 gin to 1 tonic, or 1 gin and 9 tonic. But normally it's like 1 to 3. Let's say.
Right.
Yeah, that ratio. So like 1 part of the gin and 3 part of the tonic. Or if you want like stronger one, 2 or 2.5 and so on. Let me finish this one.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, so we have one asking Marcy about the equipment which he's using.
What equipment have we got, Marcy?
I try to keep it simple. What I'm using is a jigger, which is a measure. If you can measure the right amount, you don't need to be a fancy one at home, but it makes you feel like a little bit, yeah, I'm doing this. So I recommend to get it. It's not so expensive neither.
Really?
In different sizes and different materials.
It's very elegant. It's like the king's silverware.
And for here, like especially chosen that copper one because the copper is one of our theme color as can be used for that color, which is comes from the steel. There you go. Ice matters as well. So as you can see, some of them are made in here.
Thank you very much.
For you. And it's quite transparent and it's nice to see.
Kinobi branded ice?
Oh yeah, actually.
That is amazing.
Nice. Thanks for commenting.
I just noticed that.
I have the ice stamp. So like I stamped on the ice. Maybe this was like what the people was asking.
An ice stamp.
Yeah, ice stamp.
This is the future.
So yeah, ice is transparent, and then sometimes the ice has got that white bit inside, and that's an impurity. It could be air, it could be minerals.
So ice should always be perfectly clear.
I mean, it's okay. It's not poison that, but like by looking at it, by looking at it, it's nice. I mean, for me, the look. The appearance of the drink is as important as the inside.
Absolutely.
And it comes up, again, for the bottles. It's beautiful bottles, and as well as like the
is this the most popular drink, do you think? When people come here to the House of Kinobi, what is the most popular?
Gin tonic is like, quite popular for like fastings to go to. Anyway, kampai.
Thank you very much. Away we go.
I'm going to go through with other expressions. Kinoti mizuwari coming up next.
So refreshing. The trouble with Kinobi is it's disturbingly easy to drink. You can drink all that very quickly and very effortlessly because it tastes so damn good.
There you go.
Oh, so good. So refreshing.
Yeah, it's great, actually.
After a long day's work.
It's getting a little bit
Come all the way from
warm
Sendai
here.
for this. It's definitely worth it.
There you go. So next one up, Kinoti mizuwari. So I recommend mizuwari serve of the Kinobi expressions. Many of them, it goes really well, especially like going down alcohol percentage and like what are you eating, you can still have it, and it's just like really easy to make. So I keep recommending to people. Today, using that Kinoti, frozen Kinoti, as you might be able to see, the bottle is like a little bit,
I can hear it, yeah, like rattling.
Yeah. All right. So Kinoti, I put 40.
4?
40. Yeah, 40. 40
right.
Kinoti. and 40 mils, sorry. And
40 mils
there
of
was
Kino
water.
tea. So what's this? What's this drink here we're making now?
Kino tea mizuwai.
Kino tea as well.
Very simple. In a wine glass, and this is pure water, comes from a well. I use 60, so this is like 1 to 1.5 ratio.
And this is from the well,
Yes.
right
exactly.
below where we are now.
That's right.
When you built this place, did you know there was a well here?
No, when we
Just
found
discovered
out,
the well.
we found out like when we came here to have a look before, there's this, a place is available. Oh, okay, let's have a look. And then we found out there was a well.
Oh, by the way,
so-
there's a well round the back. Oh, I'll have that then. That's so lucky.
Yeah. So like I swirl in a glass like this. The water is very chilled and Kino tea is frozen. So this time I'm going to serve without ice. And we have tea plants in our garden. So I just freshly, foraged. Can I say that?
Yeah, no. Forage the tea leaves.
No, it's not wild plants, so maybe not foraging. But anyway, did you finish that?
This is going to be brutal.
Okay, so let's share with our friends.
It's giving away my second drink. Don't know how I feel about this.
So the Kinobi 3 tasting set has a Kinobi Sei, Kinobi, Kino tea. So quite simple one, like you can make already 2 of them. Last, I just want. No, actually, can I go for the last one? Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
We have some
Frozen
questions.
again.
We have some questions. What is meant by botanicals?
Botanicals is the ingredients used for flavoring the gin. Using the aromatics or the flavorings from them, and botanicals is ingredients mainly agriculture origin.
So, for example, juniper berries, yuzu, citrus, lemon, shiso, red shiso, bamboo, ginger, green tea, hinoki wood, the same wood that's made in used for baths and temples. Very good.
Or the square cup of sake.
It's very flavorful. Has a kind of a scent that smells like lemons, hinoki. It's got quite a distinct flavour. But all these things come together, blended together to create the flavour of kinobi. And a lot of gins, they have like 25 botanicals. They go a bit overboard. The brilliance of kinobi is it's less is more. It's got the best flavour, but with less ingredients.
Exactly.
And again, all locally
So
sourced.
botanica is mainly like plants, herbs, tree, root, also flower even.
There we go.
Thank you. Okay.
Take a screenshot, remember that. There you go. It's going in 3, 2, 1.
And here at the House of Kinobi, we are doing that tasting of the distillates, the constructed. So like I said, our gin is blended. So before
6
the
elements.
blended, those distillates, there's 6 distillates.
Right.
The ginger is on its own distilled, and yuzu and lemon is together as a citrus fruit, and it's not sale. These are not for sale because we want to make kinobi. But
So for people coming here, they can do a taste. And actually
for more
taste.
deeper understanding, we carry out that deconstructed
And
tasting seminar.
I've actually done it the last time I came here a few months ago.
actually
It was a
you
lot of fun. So it's worth that alone is a good reason to come to House of Kinobi, not just to come to this beautiful room, the Gin Palace, but
And
to try the
also-
6 elements.
Sorry about that. Also, we are planning to introduce that blending seminar soon, which is like we're gonna prepare some distillates not only used in the kinobi, and maybe like 10 to 15, and the guest who's joining it taste that and then flavor and think about like own blend, and then possibly blending afterwards, bottling and then bring it home. Okay, anyway, the last cocktails is the Mayfair Martini, which is only served in the Gin Palace here. And the Mayfair Martini, Mayfair sounds my sound familiar to some of them, some of you, which is one district in London. This
Very wealthy
cocktail-
district as well.
these cocktails are inspired from that famous Duke's Bar in Mayfair. And Alessandro Palacci, the head bartender of that place, is a good friend of us. And we are kind of.
So what's this here?
Oh, sorry. This is a vermouth. Martini is a simple cocktail consisting the gin and vermouth. And this vermouth is a sacred from London, and especially the design for Duke's Martini. And here we call it Mayfair Martini because. You know what I mean?
It's a homage to the place where it was.
There, what they do is like rinsing the glass with a vermouth and
Good God, what's going on here?
showing carpet.
That's a priceless rug, Marcy. What's going on?
You know, the
just tip the
vermouth
drink
is
all over the
vermouth
carpet.
is start coming up, and then the cocktail is dry, and also like you're surrounded with like atmosphere of the herbs and stuff like
I'd
that.
like to point out, he literally just poured the drink on the carpet. It's not special effects. It's not like green screen. It's gone all over the carpet.
Apologies.
You can smell the vermouth though drifting up, because obviously it's dried very quickly.
And the super chilled frozen Kinobi straight into the glass.
Better drink quickly if I'm gonna. Don't give these away. I'll never
And
forgive.
lastly, lemon.
Beautiful. Have we got some more questions? Is there a perfect garnish for gin? Sure, it depends on the drink, the cocktail.
Maybe, in my opinion, the perfect garnish is always like the people who's drinking that gin and tonic. But you know, lime and lemon is a quite usual suspect in a gin and tonic. Here, we are serving the gin and tonic. Some of them are without garnish because in the wine glass and stuff, right? And then you can enjoy the aroma of the Kinobi itself. And as well as like when it's mixed with a tonic. And we also use gin and tonic, Kinobi gin and tonic, which is like a gin and tonic, but with some soda in it.
Right.
So to create the room for the gin to express aromatics and stuff like that, which is really nice. And then we add lemon, yuzu in season, and it's no rules and anything can go. So we are kind of using the garnish materials inspired by the ingredients inside. But also you can experiment with some other stuff in season. For example, now it's a bit end of the season, but that strawberry was in area, and that was
strawberry and gin.
Yeah.
Very good combo.
So the garnish is also the color as well. Like I spoke about aesthetics, how it looks with the colors and stuff like that. So you don't even really need to muddle the the strawberries. Sometimes if you squeeze a lime, you change, and it's also the fun part. But I recommend like lemon peels or kind of simple one, or without it, or seasonal ingredients, as Kinobi means the beauty of season. So always associating with the season, it's always nice. But anyway, this is a Mayfair Martini.
Finish the gin tonic. Look at that.
There you go, sir.
Beautiful. Zesty lemon. Oh,
This
is so good. It's beautiful. Oh man. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, it ought to be quite strong, but like it's
worryingly drinkable again.
Yeah.
The zesty lemon sort of cancels out that sort of...
And temperature as well.
Yeah,
it's really chilled, and then you don't feel that much alcohol. But
Debatable.
be careful afterwards.
Don't about that, Marcy. I can taste the alcohol.
Yeah. So these are the three cocktails. Quite simple, and one is special in this place.
What's your favourite drink? We've heard about what other people like to drink, but as the king of gin, the expert, what's your favourite?
My favourite gin. It's really difficult, and I normally answer this question for according to my feelings that day. That's a fun part of the gin as well. Now many the gins out there on the market, it is a Kinobi production. We have like many, and then loads of limited release. So to choose your weapon every day, I'm feeling in this way, so I'm just gonna kill myself in this way. You know what I mean? That's what normally I answer to the people. So like talk to yourself and find out what you really want, and then choose a gin and then drink it. But like my all the time favorite gin cocktail might be Martinez. It's a precursor to the martini.
The precursor to a martini.
Yeah. So even older than martini.
And what does that involve?
It has got like several recipes, but one of my favorite one, especially for kinobi, is using kinoto, the old tom gin. Back in the days, the old tom gin was quite main things, and the richness from the kokuto. So
this is a real bad boy looking drink, isn't it? Kinoto.
yeah, and I'm using sweet vermouth and dry vermouth. So like martini and orange bitters. Some use orange liqueur, but this has got like a sweetness already in there, and I prefer a bit dry side.
Right. How much gin do you drink every week, Marcy?
I never count.
That's probably a good idea.
But as as I'm sometimes representing the company like this, and also
Research.
actually, when I was in London, the cocktail competition I joined was mostly gin. So like maybe amongst all spirits, without the Kyoto Distillery, I still go for gin actually. So I don't think my gin consume is has been consumption has been changed a lot, but it's not crazy at all. One or two a day.
I'll believe you. I love gin. I just love, compared to something like vodka, which is just flat and flavourless. Like gin is so rich and flavourful, and it is beautiful. I'm very excited about this. And where can we buy kinobi? Where can we actually find it in Japan?
In the house of kinobi is a great selection.
That's a go for it. Come down here to Kyoto. It's pretty central. We're right in the middle of Kyoto as well.
But if you are located in some other cities, probably the department store. If you're in a city like a centre,
it's on sale in London as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're in London.
Yeah, in
Fortnum Mason.
Fortnum Mason. Whiskey Exchange, and all those big retails. In Japan, most of the many liquor shop is carrying our products tank free, and for the limited release, depends because it's limited, isn't it? I never be able to say, go there or anything. Department store tend to have like a great set. Series of the kinobi, and you might be able to find a bigger size Ishobin bottle.
That's a
1.8
that is a beast
liter.
of a bottle.
Yeah.
And how much does this cost? Can I hold it with one hand?
Yeah, you can. Just a bit over 10,000 yen.
10,000 yen. That's money well spent.
Yeah.
It's my birthday coming up in 2 weeks, Marcy. I know what I want.
We are displaying, as you see on the video maybe, we are displaying like 10 times of this. 18 liter bottles, lacquered with urushi traditionally, and so on.
We have a request to see a close-up of the ice stamp. Which camera do we go to? Should we go to camera B? Go to camera B. Look at that ice stamp. It doesn't do it
Zoom
justice.
in now.
And
can you see the logo?
we have a question here. Recently, in bougie bars in the UK, they add salt to gin and tonic. What do you think about that, Marcy? Salt in a gin and tonic.
Okay, the salt in the cocktails being actually actively discussed about, and lots of bartenders using the saline solution.
What do you think?
I found it's interesting sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. In a good way. And
Right.
it is like a contrast of the flavor, right? And in Japan, sometimes we sprinkle the pinch of the salt over the slice of watermelon to even like, you might find like sweetness in there. So depends on like how much salt in there.
How much salt?
I had once the pina colada. Sorry, it's not gin related, but I had once pina colada with a saline solution, which was really nice. So
Pina
it
colada.
works sometimes, but not all the time.
Right.
So if the person who's making it knows the drill, trust him.
For me personally, I don't like the idea of. I don't like the idea of salt being in the gin and tonic. I can't see it working. But personal
What about
preference.
margarita? You like margarita?
I do like margarita.
Yeah.
That requires salt. Is there a gin culture in Japan like there is in the UK? Not really.
Not
that
much.
many gins in Japan, to be honest.
Not much. But it was. I think that's the reason why Japan was a tiny bit late for that, worldwide gin movement. And I think, it's not that, really strong. Like in Japan, okay, there's a sake, there's a shochu, a beer consume is strong, and whiskey, and we have like many things too.
But like, I mean, in the UK, when I go back to the UK, every pub, it's like a gin menu. It's like a book.
Yeah.
And in Japan, it feels like an effort. It feels like a task to try and get hold of gin.
A lot of like a gin specialist bar opening in different regions as well. In Kyoto, Osaka, in Tokyo, I believe as well. So the perception towards the gin is a bit different, but it's still growing.
Out of curiosity, like, what's a good mainstream, cheap, normal gin that you give your thumbs up to? So we should be throwing other competitors, cheap competitors, but like I met a rock star, Hyde, from the band Larkins, and I gave him Tanqueray gin. Right. And a lot of my comments were like, "Why did you give him such a cheap gin?"
Tanqueray is great though.
Tanqueray's alright. It's not Kinobi good, but it's alright.
It's also another like less is more products. I think Tanqueray, I believe there's like 4 ingredients in it. So it's
pitiful 4. It's alright. It's alright. We've got a question. What's Marcy's favourite British idiom?
Whoa. I mean idioms, Idioms
like kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I like sound as a pound on the ground.
Sound as a pound on the ground. When did you need to use that?
I don't know.
What situation requires that phrase, Marcy?
Yeah, but I've been using it.
I've never used that phrase in my life. 31 years.
I've been using it. Like that's my signature idiom, I think. So next time you see me, hear me saying that.
Very good.
What's yours then?
What's my favourite idiom? When pigs fly. Because whenever someone says, "Do that," can you do that? I'm like, when pigs fly. Well, at this rate, there'll be a flying pig in no time. Bloody genetic modification. Is Japanese ice better than regular ice?
Japanese ice is that clear ice, you mean?
Japanese ice better than regular? Who sent that question in? Japanese ice, it's just bloody water.
Okay, ice is ice, yeah?
Ice is ice.
Ice is ice.
Unless it's from the Fushimi spring.
Yeah, the Japanese bartenders are really serious about ice.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I recently,
in terms of that,
I recently learned that when you have a cocktail, you have to have a certain type of ice. They like ice that's like imperfect and exciting. Or
I would say
often if a whiskey, it's like a ball of ice, right?
I would say well-made, well-designed ice is better than regular ice, for sure. There's a few reasons. How it looks is nice, as well as when the ice is nicely made, it melts slower. So your cocktails.
That's an interesting point. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
So that ice that melts slower.
Yeah.
Inherently, that's good. And there's some perfectly formed cubes of ice there, without the stamp.
Yeah, without the stamp. Of course.
How do you stamp it? Do you stamp it just?
It is conduction of the metal. You don't need to heat it. You just press it, and please do.
Which camera are you going to for this bespoke ice melting experience? Look at that. Oh God. Oh, I can feel it like magic. I can actually hear it like going. Yeah. Whoa, God, it worked. I don't want to put my finger in for health reasons, but like, come on, let's get a close up of that camera B. Look at that. You can see it's actually stamped. That's really cool. I know what I want for my birthday. Ice stamp. Take a note, Connor. Yeah. All right, that's great.
So ice melts slower, so you can enjoy your cocktail longer.
It's one of those things you don't really think of necessarily, like the quality of the ice.
I recommend, if you're going to use the ice, to leave it for a while in room temperature, so that surface of the ice melts. Surface of ice, we can't really see, and also like I'm wearing contact lenses, and I can't really see. But there's like really micro humps. So that is going to, especially for like fizzy drinks, those humps is going to agitate the liquid, and then go into like that. That fizz is going to go quicker.
I genuinely never thought about that. That is incredible.
Yeah. And the ball ice, sometimes sphere ice, used for like special whiskey.
Well, it's used for whiskey. Why is spherical?
The surface area is smaller than any shape, so the whole surface is smaller than square, for example.
So it melts slower.
Touching surface to the liquid, exactly. So
We're getting into physics now.
Yeah.
Chris, what's your favourite tipple? Gin tonic. And a Moscow Mule. I do like a Moscow Mule. Do you like Moscow Mules?
We can make gin back.
What's the gin equivalent of Moscow Mule?
Gin back?
Should we have one now?
So ginger ale or ginger beer, we have both, and we can mix with the gin.
Do we have any ginger now?
Yeah, maybe after these. Yeah. You can even try the ginger ale version and ginger beer version.
I don't know why I like Moscow Mule so much.
It's got like some dash of the bitters as well.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah. And then it's normally served in a copper cup, isn't it?
It is.
We should actually think about that for the menu.
Steal it for the house of Kinobi. So we got another one. What are the best snacks with gin? When you have gin, what kind of snacks are you having with it?
That's also interesting questions because it's really various snacks out there. Here at the House of Kinobi, we are serving a Kyoto-made rice crackers.
There we go. Now you can make the drink of my dreams. That was a good idea.
Shall we do half an hour?
Yeah, go for it. So you have rice crackers here.
Okay. Kyoto rice, made in Kyoto rice crackers, flavored with yuzu and sansho. But that's quite specific. So I would say. Well, how would you say? For Kinobi, what I like is the pickles, Japanese pickles, and these are like several different.
I'm British. I'm a bit of a crisp man.
Olives, for example.
Olives work.
What do you think?
Olives. Crisps. That'd be me. Or peanuts.
Nuts. Yeah, nuts is always good.
What do you think about pork scratchings?
I love it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Need to bring those to Japan.
I love it.
Bring the future.
This is something I miss.
Bring
something
it on.
I miss.
Where can I buy Fever Tree? Is that a question?
House of Kinobi, we carry mainly most of that Fever Trees.
Fever Tree's taken the world by storm. I wish I'd bought shares in it 3 years ago because everyone drinks Fever Tree. I wish I bought shares because it's going up like a rocket. Everyone loves Fever Tree.
Yeah.
All right.
We have the ginger beer.
Beautiful.
Ginger beer is not so popular in Japan, but I start catching a little bit of the buzz because it's different to the ginger ale.
What's the difference between ginger beer and ginger ale?
Origin is different, I think, and both is like it's called ale. This is beer, but the ginger beer originally was like an alcoholic drink, I believe, and becomes a soft drink category. Ginger ale started as a soft drink. That's the main difference.
Oh, right.
What I know, I might be wrong. So correct me if I'm wrong. But the ginger beer is like a British origin, eh?
Definitely. I'm not an expert on the history of ginger beer. I'd like to think it's British.
Going to use your same glass here. It's okay.
Go for it. Go for it. Oh, so good. No, the branding really is on point with Kinobi. Everything about Kinobi is so authentic. Hundreds of years of culture distilled into a bottle. That should be the tagline for Kinobi.
Yeah. So
it's a bit cumbersome. We can probably phrase it better, but that's the gist of it.
So we are inspired by the history and what the Kyoto boasts of, craftsmanship and all that, and that's the main reason why we came to Kyoto to set up the distillery.
From the ingredients locally sourced around the Kyoto area, the branding, the water from Fushimi Springs, all the House of Kinobi's own well.
High quality rice spirits.
Like it really is about as good as gin gets. It really has a story to it that most drinks just don't have. Like it's given me drinking Kinobi has given me a great appreciation for alcohol. That might be quite dangerous, but it's made me really appreciate where the ingredients come from, how they're sourced, how the drink's made. I spent this afternoon at the distillery and I saw how all the ingredients are sourced and kind of turned into gin. And
Marcy,
yes,
what's going on there? How did you create that cocktail?
This is I had Chris likes the Moscow Mule, so something similar, using the gin instead of vodka.
So talk us through what's in this.
This is something similar to the gin and tonic I made earlier, which I use a Sai gin and 100 tonic. This time, I didn't really measure, but vaguely I use Sai ml of the gin and 50 ginger ale and 50 ginger beer. You can use either just a ginger ale or just a ginger beer, or both, like this time. Is it okay?
That's good.
Thank
It's
you.
very refreshing. I feel invigorated.
Yeah,
That's very easy to drink. Like that is,
Mm.
of all the drinks we've had today, that is the one I would choose to drink again.
Really?
If I
Oh,
was
yeah.
stranded on an island and I could choose one cocktail, one drink, this would be it.
You sure? That's nice
It's a
to
good
hear.
flavour, like so many different flavours.
Yeah,
The
and as well,
ginger,
like the ginger
kinobi.
is used for the kinobi, so there's no wonder it's gonna go well.
You're very lucky to work here with this gin. You're very lucky.
Yeah, more than lucky. Flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really. Actually, when I was at work in London, I was using some Japanese whiskey in these restaurants, and these were exported by Mr. David Croll, who did the introduction area, because our founding partners, the three of them, my bosses basically, they are working together to export the Japanese whiskey before they launched that Kyoto Distillery. I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know them, but I knew, and I was like kind of connected somehow. And and so also I came back to Japan and Fever Tree is available in Japan, and I was searching, who's importing? Oh, this guy came up, and I eventually I'm working for him. It's crazy, and so if I didn't go to London, maybe I'm not here. I didn't even see you, and so on. How long have you been in Japan again?
Me?
Nearly 10 years,
I've been
right?
here 8 years now.
8 years.
8 years.
Right.
And I wish I'd discovered this earlier. Although, I mean, Kinobi is quite a new brand, to be honest. But it's done so well in such a short space of time. Given the first bottle was created in 2016. It's won so many awards in such a short space of time.
Yeah, and then all that is just like encourage us to be try to be best.
What do you think the future is for Kinobi?
Future is going to be bright, and then lots of fun waiting, I believe. From this year, I think we're gonna export to more countries. I mean, has it been a tough year? With everything going on? Last year, I think it was a tough for everyone.
It's unfortunate, open the house of Kinobi and then bang, let's have a global
for here,
pandemic.
We planned to open in April last year, which was like when in Japan the state of emergency allowed and so on. So it was tough, and then we waited for like 2 months, and it opened in June. Since then, we wanted to do the events and stuff like that, but kind of quietly doing. Well, hopefully this year will be kinder to you guys, and I hope you guys watching this will actually be able to come down to the House of Kinobi and not only try the gin but enjoy the atmosphere, because this is the best place to enjoy the Kinobi. I've travelled Japan. I've travelled to nearly every prefecture in Japan, and I've never been anywhere quite as awesome as this. So thank you so much, Marcy, for having me down here. What award I given? Well, thank you for letting me try a staggering amount of gin by all accounts. Thanks for talking to me, and it's always a pleasure to talk about the gin. But do come down. So maybe this year, maybe next year, or anytime. If you're in Japan, come and visit soon. If you're outside Japan, come and visit. Hopefully when airplanes are a thing again. Hopefully by the end of this year. Yeah. But do come down here. And we are waiting and looking forward to see you in flesh. And find your way into the secret room. Find your way into the gin palace. So let us know if you are heading here or heading Kyoto, and let's drink gin together, have fun. And for those of you that have the bottle with you right now, I hope you've enjoyed your drinking experience. It's a 4D experience today. Drinking the gin whilst watching us drink the gin from the comfort of your own home. It's the future of live video entertainment, I must admit. I'm a YouTuber. This is the future, right here, right now. Drinking things in a room. Is that it though? What? Thank you very much, guys. Bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Thank you for making these incredible drinks. Thank you for presenting. And really enjoy the Kinobi until we see again.